Snow fell softly outside the Heartwood Hotel. It was sleepy snow, the kind that took its time to reach the ground. Mona the mouse watched through a small window in the ballroom, leaning against the handle of her dandelion broom. It was so quiet she could almost hear the flakes touch down. Saint Slumber's supper was finally over. The food was eaten, the music was sung, and gifts were given out by Mr. Heartwood. Little sweet-smelling pillows filled with herbs and lavender to help the hibernating guests sleep soundly until spring. And now they had all gone to bed. The groundhog, some toads, turtles, and ladybugs, and so many chipmunks no one could keep track of them. Even the Higginses, who were hedgehogs, were hibernating. Mr. Higgins was the gardener and Mrs. Higgins was the housekeeper. They weren't needed since only a few non-hibernating guests were booked for the winter months. Most animals in Fernwood Forest, whether they slept through the winter or not, stayed at home. The Heartwood Hotel was Mona's home now, and she loved it. From the heart carved on the front door, to the stargazing balcony on the topmost branches, to all of her new friends, like Tilly, the red squirrel maid, and Cybele, the swallow songstress. Tilly said that the winter season was always really boring, but Mona didn't mind. She had been a maid at the Heartwood only a few months since arriving, wet and afraid, in the fall. But already she had helped to save the hotel from wolves and earned a top review in the Pinecone Press. As proud as she was of that, it would be nice to finally rest and roast acorns in the fireplace this winter. Mona could smell roasted acorns now, their delicious aroma floating up from the kitchen downstairs. The staff was having their own little feast later, and she could hardly wait. Her stomach grumbled, but she turned her attention back to the task at hand and made a final sweep with her broom, putting the last bits of twine, left over from the gift-giving, in the dust basket. The twine could be used again, so it would need to be taken to the storage room. But the basket was too full for Mona to lift. She'd have to ask Tilly for help. Mona was just leaving the ballroom to find the squirrel when she heard a voice in the hallway.
"Ah, Shadow, what's that you say? A toast to you? Yes, of course, a toast."
There was a pause, then a gulping, smacking sound, followed by a happy sigh. Mona recognized the voice. It was the groundhog, Mr. Gibson. He was supposed to be in bed. She found him just outside the ballroom, staring at his shadow on the wall. "Mr. Gibson, can I help you?" asked Mona.
"Oh, is the party over?"
The groundhog turned around. He was holding a small, sweet-smelling pillow in one paw and a cup in another. His nose was shiny and sticky with honey. "Yes," said Mona. "It finished a while ago, but if you're still hungry, I can find you something to eat."